right, folks. Great guest today. No introduction needed, but I'll do it anyways. Ben, the Bane Davis. How you doing, man?
I'm fantastic, Jake. How about yourself?
Pretty good, dude. Very happy you could be with me today ahead of UFC Vegas 61, Mackenzie Dern versus Yan Xiaonan. Pretty good card. I won't be able to watch it. I'm going to be a little busy getting married, but afterwards I'll tune in when the new wife goes to sleep.
You've got a good excuse built in this weekend, Jake. But funny enough, right, there's nobody going to be in the Apex anyways. Mark Zuckerberg has bought it out, which I think is quite hilarious.
Is that like the confirmed truth? He bought it out for a metaverse thing?
I've seen from credible sources, but again, I have yet to really see anything super verifiable. But if that's true, bro, that's fucking funny. That's the funniest thing Zuckerberg's done since Facebook, I would say.
I hope it fails miserably on his part, but whatever, I'm here for it. So like I said, UFC Vegas 61, going to talk some best bets ahead of the card this weekend. I sent you some picks last night over to text message. You did your research, I did mine. Now I'll go down the list and talk about them. Let's start at like the prelims, the lower fights, or at least that's how I have it written down here. First fight we're going to talk about is Mike Davis. And before I continue, something good that Ben brings to the table as a guest is he's great at pronouncing fighter names. So when I lack at that, he'll make up for it. So like I said, Mike Davis coming in as a -175 favorite against Vyacheslav Borshev, or the Slava Claus.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
I'll take it. I'm going to call him Slava Claus, though.
It's just easier. Rolls off the tongue better.
Yeah. So Slava's a +150 underdog. I actually told you I was going to pick Slava. I flipped the picks researching. I'm all on my boy Mike Davis here. He's got the crisper striking. He's got the reach. He's the younger fighter. Borshev really likes to go for the power boxing. I mean, he's got crazy power in his fist, knocked out Chris Duncan on Contender Series. I just think Mike Davis is going to pick him apart technically on the feet, maybe for 15 minutes if he doesn't get a finish sooner.
I agree with that as well. I'm echoing that statement and backing Davis considerably. Of course, I share the same last name, so I feel biologically I must back him. Exactly. But he's more tested as well within the UFC. I think that we saw Borshev getting some deep waters, and he drowned. And I think against a guy like Mike Davis, if there is blood, you know he's a shark. He's going to go after it. And I'm excited to see Vyacheslav come in here and maybe show some improvements in other angles of the game, depth potentially. But in terms of well-rounded, in terms of just veteran experience, it's all on Mike Davis's side. And at -175, a good parlay piece. I'm sure if you want to get a prop going in there, they have yet to be released on DraftKings, at least mine. We've got the under 2.5 at +100, but I think it'll see the judges' scorecards on this one.
It's so annoying, dude. DraftKings never releases the props till like Thursday or Friday. Kills me.
It's fucking dumb.
But yeah, Mike Davis by knockout TKO decision, get him like a -120 or something like that. Yeah, cash that shit all day, man.
Easy.
About that. So moving on here, another fight that I don't really understand the odds here, to be honest with you. We got Brendan Allen coming in as an underdog, +100, almost a pick 'em against Krzysztof Jotko, -120. I don't understand why Brendan Allen is the underdog here. I know a lot of people who are on Jotko, including, Manfrey, MMA, Lock of the Night, which kind of scares me picking against him. But Brendan Allen is younger by 7 years, and I just think he's kind of better all around, technically. Could be wrong, have been wrong before, but the Jotko fight IQ is what concerns me. We've seen it cost him fights before, and
See, what's funny about that, Jake, is I've got the same criticism of Brendan Allen that you do about Krzysztof. I think that Allen is a tremendous fighter. He's great, well-rounded, athletic as he could possibly be, but questionable about IQ. I mean, there's fights that he should have won that he loses in big ways. And that's as somebody that, again, I'm not an experienced bettor. Never fucking tail my picks. You'll lose money. But as someone who bets, I always like to find consistency in historical trends, right? And the historical trend is you don't know. With Brendan Allen, it's inconsistent. So I have a hard time betting on it. I think within this fight, it would be something, again, we don't have those props, which would be great. We should have done this like Thursday or Friday.
I know, man.
But I think it would be more of a over 1.5 rounds type bet, fight goes the distance type bet. Those are the things that I would be seeing, because while it's tight, -120 for Jotko, +100 on the flip for Allen, I just have zero confidence in both guys. It's a toss-up. It's a coin flip, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, the more we're talking about this here, the more I'm saying, maybe I'm not going to touch this fight. Because you're right. Brendan Allen does have questionable fight IQ at times as well. And you said you'd like the over 1.5 there. That's not out yet, but the over 2.5 is a -190. So I don't even know if that'll be worth playing at all. So maybe the best advice here is to stick away from this fight altogether. I'm kind of in a dog or pass situation. But again, whoever I bet on in this fight is not going to be getting a lot of money. I'm not one to bet against or on good or bad fight IQ. Next up, we have 85 years old of age between the two fighters combined. Ilir Latifi coming in as a minus 175 favorite against Aleksei. Olynyk plus 150. I like Latifi here. Latifi's never been sub before, and we all know the only way Olynyk's getting a dub in 2022 is by putting somebody to sleep on the ground. I don't think Latifi. I mean, it's
so funny. He's got 47 wins by submission. It is fucking bonkers, the amount of success he has. But let's talk about Derek Lewis, a similar opponent of both gentlemen. Olynyk had difficulties with the traps, the size of the neck of Derek Lewis, right? You could see visible frustration, almost amusement, because he was like, I can't fucking sink in a sub. This guy's too damn thick. Ilir Latifi's in that same camp. He's a thick gentleman. He's a small, sturdy boy. And I don't see a sub occurring because he's also a great grappler in his own right. If you look at the fight that Ilir Latifi had with Derek Lewis, this is one of my hottest takes. I think Latifi beat Derek Lewis, in my professional opinion. At half the fight control time for Latifi. I believe it was almost even in terms of significant strikes. Lewis didn't have any massive moments. That was a robbery, in my opinion. So Latifi wins against great competition. Ilir Latifi on that same boat, or Aleksei Olynyk on that same boat. But yeah, I think Latifi is going to cruise on his way to a decision. I think he's going to be able to defend and get back up to the feet and answer with some strikes. I don't see a finish from Latifi. I feel like he should finish Olynyk, who's been finished in 4 out of his 3 at his last 5 losses. Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's 45 years old.
He's fucking 45. So Latifi, his nickname's a sledgehammer, right? You're going to call yourself the sledgehammer, bring some serious power, which he can. But again, a lot of decisions on his resume. I would say, once again, pick the over because you never know. Olynyk on 47 occasions has finished by sub. It is difficult to bet against him with that resume. But I like Latifi a ton. He's one of my favorite fighters at that weight class.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. And the over 1.5 right now is a minus 130 on DraftKings. I wrote that down because I like that play too. But yeah, man, Latifi's just so durable. And like you said, he's a thick little boy. I don't think Olynyk's gonna be able to find a space to grab his neck. And I don't even know if Latifi's gonna be able to give it to him. He's a great grappler and he's a smart fighter with a lot of experience. Totally agree. I think he beat Derek Lewis too, but would have been a boring decision victory by the judges. They had a little bit too much ego for that.
I know. Yeah. They just couldn't give it to him.
All right. So next up's my, I guess it's going to be my big play of the night. It's my parlay. This is my last play I have written down before I ask if you have anything you want to talk about, but
sure.
The parlay, Mackenzie Dern, Randy Costa, who is your boy. If you put both of them together, that's a minus 104 parlay. I love those odds. I mean, if you want to get crazy and put Sadiq Yusuf as a plus 1,000 or a minus 1,000 in there, get the parlay to plus money, do your thing. But Mackenzie Dern, Randy Costa, love both of those guys. Not guys, fighters. Mackenzie Dern's not a guy.
Mackenzie's just one of the boys. You know, she's one of the guys. Fellas, is Mackenzie Dern one of us?
She's a bro. I love Mackenzie Dern. Fighting aside, she's
fucking great.
Yeah.
I will say this. I like Randy Costa a ton. The Zohan is a fantastic gentleman. We've done a lot of content together in the past. And I truly think that he's a special athlete. Yes. But Guido Canetti is durable. He's a veteran. He's crafty. He's powerful. And, you know, we've kind of seen the blueprint to what beats Randy Costa. Pressure and gas him out, right? Attack that body.
Randy Costa's never won a fight outside of the first round.
Exactly. Crazy. It's within those first 5 minutes. And that is difficult to bet on, especially at minus 280. You 3-1 favorite over a guy who's, I think, lost his last 2 or lost his last 3.
He beat Chris Moutinho, his last fight. But before, are you
Randy Costa did?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about Canetti.
Yeah, Guido did. I was like, I missed that one.
No,
like Randy. I like Randy a ton. This is a fight that he should definitely win. I think it's a perfect opponent. I think we're going to see a big stylistic finish from Randy, something that we've seen and something that I love to see. But at plus 235, that's a wide line on a guy who, you know, with all due respect, we've seen the blueprint. Guido knows what he's got to do. So I'm not saying parlay buster by any means, but just be wary.
I respect it. Most of my guests never like my parlays, which always makes me sad, but they always hit. So screw you all. So let me ask you a question though. Does this make you part of the reason I'm so confident in this is there's a 14-year age difference, right? Kennedy is 14 years older than Costa. At that rate, fighters win 70% of the time when there's.
Where are you getting that statistic from?
Oh, who tweeted it out earlier? I don't have a source.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, who tweeted it? Somebody tweeted it.
I saw it. I'm going to the bird right now. Anyways, forget that stat. There's still a 14-year age difference. There's a reach advantage. I just think Costa, if he can actually make it out of that first round and not gas, I don't think Kennedy's got anything for him. But like you said, yeah, plus 230, dog. Kennedy, his durability, his cardio, his experience might be worth a shot. It's
a very wide line. I don't like how wide it is given each guy's prior performances. I wish it were a bit tighter, and then I'd be completely on his side. And again, I think Costa should dribble this one and just shatter the backboard of Guido Kennedy. That's what the matchmakers are doing here. They want Randy to win, but Guido went out there and fucking destroyed Chris Moutinho, who I'm sure was also 14 years younger than Guido Kennedy. So when we talk about age differences, it's negligible. It doesn't matter. And I just am unsure. Again, I want Randy to win. I am picking him to win. It's just a weirdly wide line. And to put it in a parlay, I don't know. I would say, again, let's talk about something that's kind of rejects both sides. Under 1.5 at minus 155. I would slap that in a parlay. Again, like you've said, Randy, all his wins come in the first round. You know he's going to start strong. It's a car crash under 1.5 at better odds. That boosts that parlay, I'm sure. Put it in. Slap it in right now. Tell me what the odds are. Under 1.5 and Mackenzie Dern. Is it plus money? Did we get that across the hedge?
I don't think it's going to be plus money, but we'll see. We'll see. So Mackenzie Dern's a minus 120 or minus 225. The under 1.5 with that. Oh my goodness. Plus 137.
You're welcome. Boom. We've converted. Now it's a parlay that we both love.
I'm always so afraid to put over-unders in parlays. Just I hate betting over-unders because I hate what it does to me when I'm watching the fight. I'm like, that puts me on.
You're watching the clock and you're like, oh my God, it's 2:30.
Yeah.
I'm angry. I get that completely.
But I do like that play, and that does bring the parlay to plus money. So maybe that is the safer play here than Costa straight up. Now, let me ask you about not the mustache man now, but Miss Mackenzie Dern. What do you think about her going up against Yan Xiaonan? Something interesting before I let you talk real quick. Mackenzie Dern has 7 submission wins. Yan Xiaonan has 7 knockout wins. Very interesting.
Right. So let's talk about those knockout wins, though. I think it's a padded record. If you go back and look at the Sherdog, the records of her opponents way back in the day, not fantastic. None of them have really gone on to achieve many things. It seems like she's been beefed up. And while she has success inside the octagon, again, she was that guy's thing, 7 knockout wins. She's never knocked anyone out in the UFC. It's all pre-UFC. Her last finish was like 2016. And again, outside the organization, it's all been decisions. And she's on a 2-fight skid. I don't like this. People, I can complain about this main event because why does Yan Xiaonan deserve this spot? She's lost her last 2. Now she's in a main event. It makes no fucking sense to me. Somebody pull me aside and let me know, hey, she's doing the opposite of what you're supposed to do in professional sports. And that's why she gets to be in the biggest spotlight Saturday night. Fuck you.
I don't
Makes no sense. So Dern on the flip side, 7 subs, 5 decisions. She's lost by decision twice, but she went 5 rounds against Marina Rodriguez, which was last year. Yan Xiaonan notably lost a split decision to Marina. So similar opponent. I'd say Dern had the better performance. Again, she had those extra 10 minutes in the can. Yan Xiaonan has never gone 5 rounds. I don't think she's even been booked for a 5-round fight. Maybe she has, and then she knocked out a can in Asia in a round, right? I'm sure that's what happened. But here's my thought. Dern via sub, I think her grappling's improved immensely. She's shown it. She has so many different submissions, many ways to get it to the ground. Yan Xiaonan on the ground, I don't love. I didn't like her grappling against, who busted her up? Was it Carlos Barza?
Carlos Barza, yes.
Yeah, Carlos Barza. I didn't like it. I didn't like how it looked for Yan. And so I think that what's going to happen is Dern's going to get it down there and she's going to find a submission within 3.5 rounds. Against Marina Rodriguez, Yan Xiaonan was outstruck 40-18 in the 3rd round. That's a massive differential. And so we're talking about a potential cardio deficit as well. You extend Yan 10, 12 minutes, all grappling, she's gassing like a rhino in the Serengeti, hasn't had water in 14 days. It's prey. That's what I'm seeing here. I'm anticipating a Dern submission. I just don't see areas where Yan Xiaonan can exploit or penetrate the game plan or chinks in the armor of Mackenzie Dern. Dern's, I can criticize and laugh at her all day long. with the accent that she has developed over the last 10 years. But she is a fantastic fighter, a phenomenal athlete, and BJJ is her backyard. I just see her getting it done in a big way. Now, I want to talk to you. I want to bring it to the co-main event because we didn't talk about this one, but we've got Randy Brown. Baby, Randy Brown minus 310, right? Again, a massive favorite. He's on a 3-fight win streak, one of which was a submission against Cowboy Oliveira. 11 finishes and 15 wins professionally. Good split down the middle between subs and KOs. 6 knockouts, 5 submissions. But a patient last couple outings, Jake. I mean, he was very patient against Jared Gooden. He was very patient against Chaos Williams. And I was thinking, is that respect to the opponents and the power? Maybe. But these are guys that I feel like he should have been putting the foot on the gas a bit more, maybe getting some more highlight knockouts or big moments. And that's just not what I saw. He's been in the UFC since 2016. Francisco Trinaldo, flip side, plus 260. He's been in the UFC since since 2012. Randy Brown's first amateur fight was in 2012.
Wow.
That's a lot of experience for the old gentleman who's on a 2-fight win streak, and he's a winner in 5 of his last 6. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Francisco Trinaldo. I'm not suggesting that he's going to go in there and knock out Randy Brown. But again, this is a wide line, and Francisco Trinaldo has never been stopped with strikes. He's been submitted on 3 occasions, but at 44, never being knocked out, he's faced guys like Paul Felder, Alexander Hernandez, prime Kevin Lee. If these guys couldn't get him out of there, why would Randy Brown? So I think Brown by decision's the play. Again, we don't have that prop, unfortunately, but I'm sure it's just going to be a bit juicier than minus 310. That's too wide of a line. I don't see a lot of value there. I think Brown's going to control. I think he's going to touch, but I don't think he's going to go. That's his nickname, right? Touch and go?
Randy Brown?
Yeah.
I believe it's touch and go.
Yeah. I anticipate a lot of touching, maybe not a lot of going. So Brown by decision, that's what I think. Again,
I like that one.
Yeah, it's just Randy's 6-3 since 2016. Francisco's 7-4 in that same time frame. These guys are quite similar in their career. They've faced a lot of, I would say, decently same caliber opponents. Sure. And it's just a wide line. I don't know if you think like this, Jake. I don't know if you think like this, but it's just a wide line. I don't like it.
I'm always I don't know if you follow Quinn at Orthodox on Twitter, but he always posts it. He's a value boy. You know, he'll go for the value over the bet. So he would be with you here. And like, yeah. I didn't really think about the decision prop, but it's a great point because I think Randy Brown wins this fight. He's got the bigger reach. He's like 12 years younger. He's taller. He's just the fresher fighter overall. But yeah, Trinaldo hasn't been finished. Did you say he's never been finished?
Never been stopped with strikes. He's been subbed 3 times, but he's never been knocked out. Again, I think that
Randy's not going to go for a sub. And I don't think Trinaldo, what I've seen of him lately, is going to get knocked out.
What I can see occurring is the same thing like the Cowboy Oliveira fight. A big punch stuns Francisco. He goes down. And instead of ground and pound, Randy goes for a submission. I can see that occurring. He's done that before. I could see it playing out in the same way. But I like decision on this one. He's been too patient. He's not been pushing the pressure or really gunning for these finishes in his last 2 outings. And again, I honestly, Trinaldo plus 260, I would say hedge and slap some money on Trinaldo, just money line, because he's upset the apple cart before. Yep. Jai Herbert can tell you all about that. So I don't know. I mean, I like Trinaldo at 1044. I don't think he's going to win, but I do see him making it more competitive than this line would suggest.
I love that, man. I totally agree with that too. I'm very confused as to why the combined age of this card is like 10,000 years old. I don't know why it's
aged, bro. They put all of the oldest people on the roster, and they were like October 1st. Bam. That's when you guys are all gonna be. This is it's like a senior citizens meetup. That's what this card is. It's the it's just the retirement home.
Zuckerberg said no media, no anyone, just the old folks.
Yeah, just old people. Night. Zuck was like, I want people like myself, aged individuals. Because that guy's an alien. He's thousands of years old. Whatever his physical appearance tells you, that's a lie. He is thousands of years old.
Now this video is going to get 0 views because we're talking smack on the internet overlord.
Zuck's going to, just algorithm it out into the desert. That's
he got cucked by the Zuck. All right, Ben. Well, that's all I got, man. I appreciate you coming on and giving me your expert insight. And again, like I said earlier, congratulations to all your new endeavors, dude. Very proud of you. And love to see your face all over my timeline, dude. Really, really makes me proud.
I appreciate it, man. Likewise, you're crushing it.
Of course, brother. Ben the Bane Davis, UFC Vegas 260, or not 261, just 61. We'll see you.
Just 61. Take out that too.
200 years later. Thanks, y'all.